You probably heard that Pluto was demoted a few years ago.
Yes.
No longer a planet.
Yeah.
Silly astronomers once again, what can you say? But, and a lot of astronomers didn't like that, by the way. Did not like that. They didn't. But Pluto rules the underground, and Pluto really loves being invisible. I know that Pluto's so much more happy that he's no longer seen as a planet, because now he can really rule from the underground. You see? So he's become very powerful, even more powerful than when he was called a planet. That's my sense of him. Okay? Now, we have this really strange word in English language called plutocracy. Does anybody know what that word means? It's power and rule by the wealthy. It's government by and for the wealthy. Okay? Plutocracy. Yeah. So I think this is how Pluto's coming out right now. This is one form. There's many forms of Pluto, but one form is that we now live in a plutocracy. If you think about it, okay? Just Exhibit A here, all right? A Democrat gets elected president, Obama, Clinton, whatever, and they start kind of left to center. What do they always do? Move to the center. They always move right, okay? A Republican gets elected like George W. Bush, and he starts on the right. Does he move to the center? No. The Republicans go farther to the right. They don't come to the center. Okay, why is this? I thought about, why is this? Okay. Of course it's money. It's exactly about money. Why? Because both Democrats and Republicans are beholden to the same corporate interest to get reelected. They need that money from big business and from wealthy individuals. It's very obvious that the Republican Party is the party that supports wealthy individuals and corporations. The Democrats don't have that party line, but they're still beholden to the same money. So if they do get into power, which is sort of amazing anymore, they got to tack towards the corporations and the money and the wealthy individuals, you see what I'm saying here. So we actually do live in a plutocracy. And a year ago, this time in January, the Supreme Court came down with a ruling that said, guess what? Corporations can spend as much money as they want now on political campaigns. That just basically sealed the deal. That sealed the deal. We live in a plutocracy. We really do. We think it's a democracy. It's got the form of democracy, but money doesn't speak, it screams. Right now, it's not speaking, it's screaming. All right. So what might happen here with Uranus square Pluto? This is definitely plutocracy, Pluto and Capricorn. This is the entrenched power structure, right? Money, power structure, status conscious, whatever. Uranus tends to be equalitarian in nature. It produces technologies like the internet, which at least have the impression of we can all now have equal access to information, right? It's a leveler. Uranus likes to level the playing field. What's going to happen here? Uranus square Pluto. Something might happen that sort of levels the playing field again. What could that be? Well, one could be that we just recognize we're in a plutocracy. Let's call a spade a spade. You know, let's not pretend that it's a democracy in some ways. It's really about money. But the other could be, I go back to my alien presence idea. What would happen if we discover that these aliens don't use money at all? Of course they don't. Money's not a concept to them. It's a foreign concept. It's like we don't even need that, right? What if, on top of that, them not using money or having money, their main value is not the material plane? What if that just isn't that important to them? What if physical stuff and owning physical stuff and having a physical body isn't all that important to them? That would just blow the whole trip. That would just blow the whole plutocracy money trip. Because the value isn't there anymore, right? They're kind of going, we kind of like our freedom a lot more than that, you know? We like to be able to zip around the universe at will. We don't want to be that attached to a physical body, right? You may remember that great story from the 1970s, Stranger in a Strange Land, science fiction by Robert Heinlein. It was about a human who was born on the way to Mars in a spaceship and got raised by Martians. And then it got sent back by the Martians as an ambassador to the Earth. So this guy is human, but also he has a Martian consciousness. And the Martians discorporate at will.
They what?
Discorporate. They leave their body. They don't have a body anymore. It disappears at will because they're consciousness. That's what they are. They're consciousness. They just take up bodies as they want to, right? They can also discorporate your body of will if they choose. Yeah, in this book. Yeah, it's very fascinating. So he comes to Earth, and he's a human, but he can do all this stuff. He can discorporate at will. It's not a big deal to him. Fascinating. So I'm just thinking, if there was this sort of alien presence, and we got to know how their technology works and how they work, it just might blow this whole plutocracy thing out of the water in a very interesting way. Just a thought.